Hi everyone, my name is Michelle Zillio and I'm a reporter with iPolitics.ca in Ottawa. As you can currently see, I'm joined by Anas Marwah, a member of the Syrian Canadian Council from Syria. He's currently traveling in an armoured vehicle in northern Aleppo, Syria. He's with a group of activists who are delivering aid to Syrian refugees in northern Syria and Turkey. Anas, thank you for joining us.
No problem, Michelle. Hi.
Excellent. So first of all, tell us where you are and what you're currently doing.
Okay, so now currently we're trying to get to the city of Azaz. Now currently I'm in northern Aleppo. It's called Reef Halab, and we're trying to get into Azaz borders, and there's the borders between Turkey and Syria, and we're trying to get into Turkey before 8 p.m. Now it's 7:17, and let's hope we make it on time.
Mm-hmm. And who's currently in the car with you? What does the scene look like in your vehicle?
Okay, so currently I have two other activists in the car with me, one from Egypt and one from England. In addition to that, I've got an injured girl who was hit today by a missile, and she was taken to the hospital I was in this morning. And unfortunately, there was some problems that she had to be taken to another hospital for her to be for pictures and photos to be taken of her foot X-rays. So we were accompanying her with another nurse he's here with us, her mother and the driver. It's an armored car, so I feel pretty safe at this point. But still, anytime the plane comes. So the whole point is we're trying to get this girl to safe into other camps and some other refugee camps and some hospitals there too.
Mm-hmm. Well, Anas, that leads me to my next question for you. What's the aim of your trip to this region? Along the border, what are you and this group of Syrian Canadians hoping to do?
Okay, so first of all, let me just introduce what we're doing. We're a convoy called Hayat, and they're basically activists from all over the world trying to reunite here in Syria to help as much as they can by doing fundraisers all over the world, accompanying all the money and putting them into real aid towards the Syrian refugees and Syrian people in need in and outside of Syria. And so basically, we arrived here yesterday with around at this point there's 15 activists that came from different areas in the world, and I think another 40 are coming next month. I'm believing that the activists now we have over 6 countries. So we're here to deliver aid towards the Syrian in need. We arrived yesterday in Ghazi and Tab, and today we got into Syria. We went into the borders towards a refugee camp. We visited the refugee camp, and then we left the refugee camp and went to the hospital. It was pretty dreadful what we saw. It was pretty sad. Like everything here is people are in need everywhere. There's no 1 second that can be left really without needing every single one of us to work for it. Like I've said, no one expected that I'd be 2 days ago in Canada, and now I'd be in a car inside Syria, sitting with just an injured, I believe she's 7 or 8 years old, in front of me, hit in her school by a missile, killing I think at least 20 others in her school. That's what I've understood from her mother, and injuring way more. That massacre, if it happens anywhere other than that in the world, it would be a first stop story. But I'm talking about a school that was hit, and it's really sad. It's really dreadful to see this happening 24/7 around us.
Continuing on the topic of refugees, what are refugees on the ground telling you they need most?
The people here, they're looking for medicine. I'm sorry, again, probably there are a lot of people now. But the people are in here. They're in need of medicine. They're in need of food supply. They're in need of aid. They're trying their best to actually to just live through the situation. And like I said, refugee camps inside Syria is different than refugee camps in Turkey. What they need there is so different. They have a lot of need to all kind of supplies, and no one's really, or at least I'm not gonna say no one. I'm just gonna say they have not the enough support that they need, the supply that they need. that's for sure.
Now, let's talk a bit about the contributions from both the Canadian government and the international community. Based on what you're seeing on the ground, is this enough? And if not, where should aid be going first?
Michelle, like I said, there is nothing that is enough at this point. What I've seen today is so bad in a way that I could not even expect to see something like that throughout my lifetime. What I've seen are people dying every day. What I've seen are refugee camps. The girl beside me, she's just moaning because she can't find a place to have a CRT scan to know what's wrong with her. There's not enough need. Whatever need we have is whatever need we can get is basically what we need. And the Canadian government have helped, of course, and we thank the Canadian government for what it did. But at the same time, it's not enough. I've seen countries that have given more. We're expecting from our government to give more. You're talking about countries have given like a lot more, and the Canadian government up till this moment, I don't think has exceeded the $48 million. So from that perspective, there's a lot to be done, and I expect more from my government, the Canadian government.
Now let's talk a bit more about the conflict and what you're sensing there. It's still very high tensions in the north, and do you see a solution in sight?
Okay, so in the north, it's as bad as it could get. But the best part about the north is that it's liberated on the ground, and I put liberated between two quotes because it's on the ground only. The sky is filled with planes, and those planes are hitting 24/7, injuring people every day. Today I was talking to one of the people inside, and they've said the average number of dead people per day is 150 to 200 people, and the average number of injured exceeds 500 to 600 people. The average number, the people who died last month are 6,000 people. 6,000 people dying in 1 month, and you're talking about like probably like around 20% of them kids. You're talking about it's like a disaster that's happening here, and there's nothing in the hands of people that they can do outside, except in the people here, except try to defend themselves through the Free Syrian Army or try to gain more land and go towards Damascus, and that's the sense of what's happening here. There are people outside, obviously, like the coalition of what the international governments are trying to go towards a political solution. I don't see that in any side. I don't see that anywhere coming, unfortunately, because based on what we've seen from the regime, there's no way to negotiate with a criminal, and they're just terrorizing people every day. I'm telling you, like, there's no one that could explain what I'm seeing now unless he comes here and know what I'm seeing. If I had to sit within 1 hour and a half with a young girl, injured girl in front of me, and I just have to get used to it, that's a problem. That's not something good.
Now, Anas, a question for you personally. I know this is about the second time that you've traveled to Syria in the last year. Are you afraid for your safety, and how does your family feel about you traveling to your home country?
Yeah, well, obviously my safety is an issue. Like last time I had to deal with a lot of problems. Actually, I think we're here, so I think I'm gonna have to leave the car. But at this point, all I'm saying is it's really dangerous. We try our best to keep as safe as possible. People are dying every day. Like I've seen missile, I've seen helicopters. Like I said, the fears here, the traumatizing way of life that they're seeing. The people here, by just the sound of a plane. At one point, like a person was telling me today that people were looking at first kids were looking at the sky for planes to play with them, like to laugh about them. At this point now, they're when they see a plane, they're traumatized. Some people, they get into a psycho effect. So that's all I can see. Anyways, I'm so sorry I have to go at this point. So.
Okay, Anas, can I just ask you one more quick question?
Perfect. Okay,
very quick. If you could sit down with Prime Minister Stephen Harper among all the leaders in the world and many international leaders, what would you say to them about the situation in Syria? What would your plea be?
I'd say help them as much as you can. No-fly zone, anything that could help people. We just want to liberate our areas, and all we need is just your support. We need humanitarian support for Syrians in need. We're thankful for whatever have been done, but that is not enough. People here are dying, and we cannot. The world can't just stay and look towards that cause like it's a game. People are dying every day. There's blood spill every day. So let's try to help. There are patriots just spilled around the country, around Turkey, those patriots could be used against any Scud missile that's hitting. I've sent you a YouTube video before of a Scud missile that hit Aleppo. That is devastating, taking over around 25 to 30 houses. People dead inside it. The death rate is just the death toll is just going high. So that's what I would say if I see them, and I hope we can find the help we need.
Anas Marwah, member of the Syrian Canadian Council, joining us from northern Aleppo, Syria. Anas, thank you very much for your time. Best of luck with your trip, and of course, stay safe.